I feel like there's no company that hates its own user base more than Nintendo. It feels like every decision they make outside of game development decisions is always so bafflingly evil for no reason. It feels like they go out of their way to spit in the face of the people that play their games. You know how, like, the Heart Attack grill, you get spanked by your waitress if you don't finish all your food? That's Nintendo. They spank you for just wanting to enjoy the games they produce. There's just a laundry list of awful things Nintendo does for seemingly no good reason. Like, for 20 years now, they've been locked in a war against the Smash Brothers community, just going full scorched earth and randomly shutting down grassroots tournaments left and right for 20 years, even though it's just a gathering of people playing their game at a high level. Like, that's not hurting anyone. Nintendo's made another wildly awful decision that goes against the community that enjoys their games, and I want to get very deep into it because it's one that I'm extremely passionate about. It's, again, them shitting on the Smash Brothers scene, but this time, they're not alone. Nintendo had an accomplice, and in fact, the Nintendo sidekick may have actually been the greater villain in this story. As most of you know, Moist Esports started in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with Cola, so it's obviously a community I'm super passionate about. And it's been a community that's been severely neglected and shit on by Nintendo for 20 years now. They've shown no support and they've actively gone out of the way to shut down tournaments. They don't actually contribute anything to the professional scene in any capacity whatsoever. They're very hands-off and they really don't seem to like professional Smash Brothers, and never have. But not too long ago, Panda, which is an FGC organization, they're not just in Smash, but they're mainly known for Smash, they announced that they're partnering with Nintendo for the first time ever. Nintendo is directly partnering with a organization to put on high-level Smash tournaments. Everyone was excited, everyone was celebrating, like, holy shit, Nintendo's finally getting involved. It looks like they're finally going to support the professional Smash scene. This is amazing. I was one of those people. I thought that was super hype. I thought that was great for the scene. Fast forward to today. There is something called the Smash World Tour, which is a labor of love put on by the community, mainly VGBC, Video Game Boot Camp, and it's reaching its conclusion. The Smash World Tour is by far the biggest Smash tournament that has ever happened, like circuit-wise. So the Smash World Tour is what people have been competing for an entire year. It's about to wrap up, and right before Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, VGBC gets a notice from Nintendo that they have to shut it all down. They get a cease and desist. A classic Nintendo maneuver. They basically invented cease and desist. They would cease and desist a fucking 4-year-old's birthday party if you had a Mario plushie there. They are ruthless. So at the very end, our players, for example, already had flights ready for Smash World Tour here. Like, everyone was fully in. Like, everyone thought it was still happening. Everyone on the organizer side also thought so as well, until the day before Thanksgiving, they said, nope, no siree. Because Nintendo refuses to allow, like, grassroots tournaments or anything like that. Yet, this came out from VGBC, where it is revealed that the Smash World Tour did have the nod from Nintendo. While they didn't officially license it or get behind it in official capacity, they were in direct communication the entire time with Smash World Tour. They were talking directly to Nintendo. They had their blessing, albeit not a fully licensed blessing, but they had their permission to run that while they also ran the Panda Cup, which is their official one in conjunction with Panda. And then out of nowhere, they got this. They got absolutely fucking slapped. They had to shut it down. So they made the announcement today that the Smash World Tour it's dead. And then they have this in here, which seems to be that it was a Panda decision, not so much a Nintendo decision to do this. While Nintendo is obviously at fault, this paints a picture of the head of Panda, his name's Alan, wanting kind of like a monopoly on Smash. Since now he works directly with Nintendo, it seems like he wanted to strong-arm himself to being the only official tournament, and all the other ones he was trying to scare and intimidate and threaten with shutdown. So I wanted to read this with all of you, because it's bad. It's a terrible look. This is a terrible look if all of this is true. And it seems like it is because one of the BTS Beyond the Summit TOs, one of the head TOs, came out to confirm that what was said in here is accurate about Alan. Panda, the head of Panda, being an absolute supervillain here. So it's looking like there's a lot of evidence to point to this being like an honest explanation for how the Smash World Tour ended up going from being okay by Nintendo standards to being wiped on the fucking pavement, like actually curb stomped. So I just wanted to read this and then go over it a bit more. That's kind of like the cliff notes to speedrun the lore on how we got here. It's an absolute shame because the Smash World Tour is just, it was an incredible thing. Highest prize pool for the whole circuit, the biggest circuit ever done. It's international, so they had talent from all across the world competing, and it was finally going to wrap up in a massive, extremely fun way. And then all of this happened. Fucking tragedy. So here. Around the same time, Panda Cup began heavily recruiting events for their circuit. The CEO continued to tell organizers we would be getting shut down shortly, and also added that any events that participated in the Panda Cup would not be allowed to be on the Smash World Tour. This exclusivity surprised us not only because of our Nintendo conversations regarding coexisting, but also because we were not exclusive, and even back in January we told organizers that they could be on both with zero issues from us. This is in reference to the Smash World Tour. Smash World Tour said that, hey, you can be part of our circuit and also be anywhere else you want to be. Totally fine. Very pro-community. Panda, not so much. At first, Panda targeted events that were not on the Smash World Tour, including those who did not join because of the aforementioned warnings. A few of those events had broadcast deals with popular tournament broadcasters like Beyond the Summit, and the CEO of Panda wanted broadcasting rights to be included as part of the deal of these events joining the Panda Cup. Most of the events refused to break their contracts, so Panda approached Beyond the Summit directly to try and get the rights released. BTS had very little motivation to give up the broadcasting rights for free, so they declined to get involved, causing the CEO of Panda to escalate things quickly, and we were told that he made a variety of threats to Beyond the Summit, including shutting down their entire Smash organization in 2023 if they didn't eventually join Panda Cup. After BTS held firm, the CEO of Panda warned that they would get Nintendo directly involved, putting broadcasting rights for all tournaments in jeopardy. So, this is the CEO of Panda, Alan, twirling his evil little mustache and his greed getting the best of him. So like Mr. Krabs with dollar signs in his eyes, he says, if you don't join us, we're going to get Big Daddy Nintendo, whom we're sucking the ass of, to shut you down. And that's exactly what's happened to the Smash World Tour. Now, this does call into question, will all grassroots big tournaments now face the wrath of Panda and Nintendo? Are they going to bully every single grassroots one? Or only the ones they deem a threat, like Beyond the Summit or VGBC? That I have no idea on at the moment. Panda hasn't commented as of right now, but it's pretty fucking bad. Now, I think it's very important. Like I said, they weren't officially licensed with Nintendo, the Smash World Tour, but they did have like open communication where it was kind of like a wink wink, this is okay kind of thing. Like, we know about it, we're okay with it, go for it, we can coexist. But only one of them was officially licensed by Nintendo, and they never had a problem until it seemed like Alan had a problem. So, absolutely tragic for the community. No, like, there is a big fuck Nintendo thing here, because if they would just fucking support the community besides just going with, like, the Panda Mafia, this would have never been an issue. This would have legitimately never been an issue to begin with. But, because they're so deeply in bed with Panda now, I guess Alan's whispering in their ear about, like, his competition that he's not happy with. At least that's how it reads. And he's made threats, which, again, have been confirmed over here, even outside of this document. This is a totally different organization. This is BTS that's confirming the same things that VGBC stated. So it seems like he just went on a bit of a rampage. Now, I think there is also, I've seen this theory tossed around, I think there also is a reality where the CEO of Panda tried to puff out his chest and, you know, flex on the community that now Nintendo's backing them, so trying to scare Beyond the Summit. But Nintendo never listened to him, didn't take him seriously, maybe viewed him as a clown. But he was so bad to work with that maybe Nintendo just got soured on the whole experience of being in the pro scene, that they're shutting everything down, and once they're done with the contract with Panda for their Panda Cup, maybe they never touch it again. I think that's also a very real possibility where Alan didn't influence their decision to shut everything down by telling them to. He influenced it by just being miserable to work with. So they were like, fuck this, we're just gonna shut everything down and go nuclear. I think that's also possible. So we're boycotting the Panda tournament? I personally am, yeah. One other thing that I just learned about from the subreddit, I think it was Leffen that brought it to light, and Moki also confirmed, when you got invited to the Panda Cup, you had to sign an exclusivity contract confirming that you will be going. That you absolutely will be going. So they made you sign a contract commitment. Hate to say it, but players should find a new game in esports org to stop supporting the Nintendo. Yeah, I've seen that take as well. It's not even a bad take. Like, it is so hard to defend Smash at the pro scene, at like pro level, when Nintendo can just freely do this and openly does it pretty often. And now you have like an inside man here at Panda, Alan, who is actively going against the community as well. Like, it's just a fucking mess. Does this mean light is dropped? What? No, we're not dropping any of our players or anything. What? No. What this means is our players that were going to the Smash World Tour Championship are no longer, because it doesn't fucking exist now. Nintendo and Panda shut it down. Now, like I said, Panda still hasn't made a statement. Alan hasn't said anything. Maybe they have a different view of these events, but it's been confirmed by two very reputable sources. And I did have a call with VGBC, like everyone on board, as well as SmashCon, that also echoed these same things about Panda in particular and how this all happened with the Smash World Tour. So I did know this was coming at some point today. I just didn't know it was this bad. The only tournaments are Panda and you're boycotting. How will you keep the Smash players signed? Well, it's not just me, man. No one wants, like, assuming all this is true, which again, there's a lot of evidence to point to it being accurate, no one's going to want to compete for Panda. And like I said, since we still don't know if this means they're going to shut down all grassroots competition, it seems unlikely they would. There'll still be other tournaments, but there's not another tournament with the same level of competition that the Smash World Tour offered. So it's still a huge blow regardless. And since everyone already had their flights and everything booked, it's a massive fucking financial burden as well for players. Of course, Moist Esports paid for all of that, so luckily that doesn't affect our players personally, but not every player in Smash is signed. In fact, most of them aren't. So they probably just lost a ton of money booking all of this and now having to cancel. So you just lost a ton of money. Yeah, well, that's esports in a nutshell. Like, that is what it is. I'm just more upset about our players not being able to compete at Smash World Tour. I don't feel we know the truth yet. Like I said, we still need to hear from Panda and Alan in particular, since it seems like it's mainly Alan. We still need to hear from them. I just don't see a world where somehow every other major org had the same experience here. With Alan in particular. I don't see how that could somehow be like a smear campaign, a lie. Like, none of that really checks out, especially because there was direct communication with Nintendo the entirety of the Smash World Tour, until all of a sudden, they decided to cancel it out of the blue, or cease and desist it out of the blue.
Think I'm being dramatic? You might want to keep listening.
Like I said, that's still uncertain, but it's not impossible. There is still no telling if all of grassroots organizations will be shut down by Nintendo going forward because of this whole Panda thing, or not, we don't know. But it is possible. It is very possible.
Because you've seen a video about 10 people getting really upset about the Ice Climbers, which I uploaded, and it's one of my most viewed videos.
A classic video to be sure, but he's also neglecting to mention where you've also probably seen it with the Salty Smash moments. Salty Smash moments have like fucking 60 entries now, and they're all golden. I still think Smash Rage is some of the best in all of gaming. It's so huge. It's such a massive explosion, and it's always enjoyable. So not just the Ice Climber moments. Salty Smash moments in general, I think most people know.
Now, Alan has been running Panda and also wanted this.
Real quick, let's double check to see if Alan has said anything. Since, again, he is the one that's kind of named and shamed in the document. Let's see if he's come out with his side of the story, or if that's going to be a little bit longer in the oven, cooking that up. Still nothing. His most recent one is, Peach being a baller was my favorite. Talking about the Nintendo Direct Mario trailer. Any minute now, though, he might drop some heat.
Canceled. Why? Well, their event is officially licensed by Nintendo.
First time ever,
Now,
by
on
the
the
way.
surface, you might
Huge.
just think to yourself, well, okay, Nintendo licensed this one but didn't license this one. It's Nintendo back at it again. They just don't understand the community, and they decided to go with one event even though they should have gone with both. Now, it's not a shocker that Nintendo would cancel an event. It's happened many times in the past, usually to large public outcry that sometimes overturns their decision. But this is not as simple as...
Wait, when has that ever happened? When they canceled Big House, there was a massive uproar, and I don't think they ever overturned that, did they? Wait, when has Nintendo ever overturned their decision in the history? Evo 2013 is the last time they overturned their decision. Almost 10 years ago? Holy shit. I'm just surprised it's ever happened even once.
And the way it's worked for 20 years is that we have kind of just run tournaments and done our own thing and got no help from Nintendo. And Nintendo makes games and movies with Chris Pratt and does their own thing, and we don't mix.
That's not true. They mix sometimes, but always negatively. They will usually just step in and say, don't do that. We're shutting you down right before it starts. Like, instead of shutting something down at the inception of it, they wait till it's about to happen. It seems so mean, like almost done on purpose. Like, they will wait for like the week before the event is supposed to happen and be like, actually, we changed our mind. You guys can suck our fucking nuts on it. Shut it down. No, really, shut it down.
But recently, Nintendo has been getting into the habit of approving events, licensing events, like the Panda Cup. Now, people were a little nervous about that because they thought, well, okay, maybe this is a bad thing because if they're licensing events, what will happen to the events that aren't licensed? Are those events going to suddenly get canceled? No, we thought back in the day when we were young and naive.
True.
But
I am guilty of that as well. I really thought so.
Yes. Any event that's not licensed by Nintendo might just get outright canceled. Well, apparently, what was happening is Alan, the CEO and co-founder of Panda, was going around to different tournaments that were meant to be a part of the circuit, different regional organizers, and saying, hey, just so you guys know, you guys are organizing an event, and it's supposed to be part of the Smash World Tour. I would not personally do that, because that event is going to get shut down, and they're not going to come back in 2020.
God, such a rat. Such a fucking rat.
Which is kind of a weird thing to do. And those Nintendo directs or execs reminded them that Nintendo is not shutting down anything unless it infringes on IP with game mods, and that the...
For those that are unaware, that was the main reason they shut down Big House, because it's Slippy. Slippy is a mod on an emulator, and they were very upset about that. It's to play Melee on an emulator, so that way it's like actual great netcode with rollback. Nintendo wasn't having it, so they shut it down and blamed game mods. But in this case, it's just playing the actual fucking game. It's just like actually playing the base fucking game, normally all above board, by the numbers, by the books. So they couldn't fall back on that, and they're just straight shutting it down because looks like Alan doesn't want competition and wants a monopoly on tournament hosting. Panda players are all coming out as blindsided. Well, obviously the players had no fucking say-so. They didn't know Alan was going rogue behind the scenes like some kind of espionage agent trying to sabotage the community from the inside. Like, how the fuck would any of the players know that? Clearly, all the players are on the community's side. They didn't have any hand in Alan making these outrageously stupid decisions here.
The CEO of Panda escalated things and made a variety of threats to be on the summit, including threatening to shut down their entire Smash operation in 2023 if they did not join the Panda Cup. Beyond the Summit held firm. They said, fuck that shit. The CEO of Panda warned them.
Great move from Beyond the
Nintendo
Summit.
Involved. My dad works at Nintendo, says Alan. He will seriously mess your shit up if you don't work with us. You have to be my friend. And the person at Nintendo directly told them those times are over.
Yep. A bold statement.
There is no longer a way to run Smash events unless they are licensed by Nintendo directly.
It's not 100% confirmed. Like I said, that's not like put in the books. It's not etched in the tablets of time yet. It seems like that might be the future, but VGBC as well as like SmashCon do feel optimistic that grassroots tournaments will still exist, and this is more just an Alan thing that forced Nintendo's hand. Like, he pushed them to it. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Either way, though, fat fucking L for Panda. And Nintendo, obviously. But Ludwig hasn't mentioned it yet. I mentioned it. I'll mention it again. It's not like Smash World Tour was doing this without Nintendo knowing. Like, this was even beyond the normal understanding of we'll do this and look the other way. Nintendo was aware this was happening and gave them, like, the okay that your Smash World Tour can coexist with our Panda Cup. They knew about it, and they were okay with it for this entire duration until the very end here. You think Nintendo will say something? Absolutely fucking not, but Panda will have to. Panda will say something. Nintendo will never once address this in the entire history of the fucking company's career, or lifetime. They never do, never will, but Panda's gonna absolutely have to. Panda is an FGC-based organization that is such a tight-knit community. Even if you don't play Smash, all of their Panda players are going to be questioning if staying with them is the right move for optics, because the FGC is just so intertwined with each other. So Panda's gonna have to, Nintendo never will. I am very curious to see what Panda says. Be surprised. You might be surprised. They just might if it's this big. I just don't think so. I don't see any world where Nintendo addresses something like this. Nintendo addresses an impersonation account that tweeted out a picture of Mario giving them the finger. But they won't address, like, actual things like this. Did they ever say anything about the Big House uproar? Because that was a big one. That had a whole lot of community pushback, a whole lot of community outrage. I don't think they ever said anything. I guess maybe this could be different since they're directly involved with Panda Cup. I could possibly see it. But even then, I just doubt it. I just really doubt it. I really feel bad for all the Panda staff, players, and casters caught up with this and no communication. Of course, you have to. The community seems to understand that the players and Alan are two very distinct, different camps within Panda, as well as, like, staff and casters. Like, those are so far removed from what Alan was doing with his fucking mob protection racket of, you should join because, well, you might get shut down if you're unlicensed. You know, just might be a little weird out there. Might be sleeping with the fishes if you're not in Panda Cup. Like, that is an exclusively Alan thing.
Because someone at Panda, aka Alan, was strong-arming a connection he had Nintendo to shut down any event that was not his own.
For what it's worth, the idea of having one true circuit in and of itself isn't a bad thing. If it's backed by Nintendo, that's not a bad thing. What's bad is the fact that he is actively going out and intimidating all the grassroots ones and actually, like, shutting them down. That's the problem. Like, having a fully sanctioned, like, authentic circuit is a cool thing. Like, the one true Nintendo-backed cup that means the most. That's a cool thing. But you don't need to go and just start, like, fucking beef stewing all of the grassroots ones that built the community in the first place.
Am I going to be able to run a Smash event in the future? Every single Smash...
Should this be the case where the times are truly behind us, where Nintendo will not allow grassroots to happen... Yeah, Lud would never be able to run another, like, Lud Invitational, which is a fucking shame, because that was a great event. That would be the future of it. You might have locals, I think locals would still exist, but anything with viewership, Nintendo would probably shut down.
Smash event I have run has...
If Smash does that, I think the Smash esports scene goes away. Yeah. I think it would absolutely vanish. I don't see how it would survive. If all of the grassroots majors and everything get shut down and only Panda Cup is left, no one's going to want to watch it because of this, and none of the players are going to want to play in it because of this. Like, it really would probably ruin the whole scene. Does that just hand the player base to Multiversus? I don't know where they'd go. There's nothing direct, like a direct successor or anything to Smash. There's other games that are similar, like you have Multiversus, you have Brawlhalla, Rivals of Aether, but none of those are like Smash. They're not one-to-one. I don't know where they'd go.
That the people who are running the Smash events aren't exactly rich. In fact, the only way to get rich is to leave the Smash scene. Something I've always known.
That is so fucking
true.
true.
A few people who have spoken out.
Yeah, that is so. In esports, it is well known amongst most of the orgs that going into the FGC is just like financial hemorrhaging. You don't make any returns in the FGC for the most part, save for some like very rare cases of like actual superstars that become like a bit transcendent of the FGC. But as a whole, that is a community of pros that don't actually make the orgs any money. So when you see an org in there, I always have respect, because it's like, okay, they're there because someone in that pipeline likes that game, likes that community, likes that space. Because they're not making shit off it. They're not making anything off it. FGC means fighting game community, yeah. Fighting game community is FGC. I am curious though. Where do you make that hoopla? In 2013, Twitter wasn't nearly as big. So where did that outrage reach? How did Nintendo see it? Because they don't really see Twitter or anything. They ignore like everything on Twitter. A great example of that is Pokemon Scarlet Violet. All of the bugs, glitches, and everything. Nintendo has never publicly acknowledged how broken that game is, like in the state that it's in, like with the performance problems and everything. But they are issuing refunds because they know it, but they're not addressing it. So where do you get their attention to make them actually address it? Does it have to be Twitter, or do they have like something else? I really don't know. And in 2013, I don't think it was Twitter. It had to be like Facebook or something. It had to have just gone like crazy on Facebook. Got to be actual news outlets. Yeah, but I don't think, especially not in 2013, I highly doubt fucking New York Times or Wall Street Journal was writing about Smash Brothers at EVO. So I don't think it was actual news outlets. It was a breast cancer charity, and we donated $100K in total. So was it the amount of money the Smash community was able to raise to get like the attention of Nintendo? Is that what it was? Not so much the like outrage, just more so here's how passionate we are and here's what we're doing to show it that got their attention. You talk like 2013 was the Stone Ages. It was super different. Like it really was. 2013 internet was a completely different landscape than what it currently is. And it's not even close. Because like I said, I don't feel Nintendo actually looks at anything that's on Twitter or anything about their brand anywhere. Like, I don't know how you'd even get their attention. You'd need Alan. You need Alan to have a change of heart and be like, guys, I fucked up. Hey, this is on me. This was a stupid decision. I fucked up. Can you please let Smash World Tour happen again? This was fucking dumb, and I may have just sank my whole company. Just toss me a goddamn bone, please. Like, you'd need someone on, like, the actual inside of Nintendo here to try and, like, lobby for it. Need the Phantom Thieves, bro. True. Without Smash, there would be no Moist Esports. Full stop. It is a community I'm very passionate about, so I also hope we can salvage this situation. What about Rocket League? No, I'm saying, like, if Smash didn't exist, like, the Smash Pro scene didn't exist as the grassroots organizations it's always been, there would have been no Moist Esports. I'm not saying, like, if this all goes through, I'm shutting down Moist Esports. I'm saying it wouldn't exist had this decision been made, like, 2 years ago. Yeah, fucking awful situation, though, man. I really, really hope there's some kind of positive conclusion to this. I just don't even know what that would look like here because I have no faith in Nintendo themselves. I don't know Alan well enough to know if he'll do anything positive here. I really can't imagine what he'll say, but I very much would like to see the Panda side come forward with this situation. It's insane that people just want to play the game. I know, I don't get the war that Nintendo wages on grassroots orgs. Like, you don't make money in the Smash scene. They're not even profiting off your IP. They're doing it because they love the fucking game. The whole pro space is net loss across the board, except for like your top tier pro players who make like a big salary or have like external brand deals. But like, they're not, like, these tournaments aren't like stealing your IP and profiting from your fucking tournaments they run. They just lose money on it. It's just such a weird war, and it gets people talking about like Smash Ultimate, like that they still sell Smash Ultimate for $60. I just got it for Tiana for Black Friday, and the deal that they were doing for Black Friday on Smash Ultimate was $9 off, so $51. Like, they're still selling it at almost full price, and having these tournaments puts it in people's minds and like, oh fuck, like this is cool. Melee is 20 years old now. Like, there's just no reason they should even be bothering to, like, try and enforce that, because it's a 20-year-old game. Just let people play it how they want. It's not like Nintendo's making tons of money off fucking Smash Melee. Makes no sense. And Ultimate, like, it's only good for them. They are not making money from running these fucking tournaments off the back of your IP. Nintendo doesn't like adults playing their games. I know, isn't that crazy? I don't even know if it's necessarily adults playing their games. They just don't like their games to be competitive. Like, that's not a secret. They openly say they don't really like that their games are competitive. They just want to be fun party games, which they are, but they also do have a layer of depth that makes them fun competitively. Like, I don't know why you can't just have your cake and eat it too. Okay, while I was tinkling, I saw something very interesting on Twitter. And this time it wasn't just more OnlyFans promotions. Check this shit out. Now, it comes from a source I legitimately couldn't have less faith in being reliable, but this is still something worth noting. So according to Kotaku, they said after giving the same deep consideration we apply to any potential partner, this is a spokesperson for Nintendo, which I don't think that exists to begin with, but I digress. We were unable to come to an agreement with Smash World Tour for a full circuit in 2023. Nintendo did not request any changes to or cancellation of remaining events in 2022, including the 2022 championship event, considering the negative impact on the players who are already planning to participate. So they are claiming, the spokesperson that is, that Nintendo did not cancel Smash World Tour. I don't really know if I believe that, though. Would that then mean it was somehow all Alan who then told the Nintendo rep that isn't this guy to tell Smash World Tour to cancel it, and Nintendo themselves had no clue? I don't really know what this means. This is Kotaku. I think they are extraordinarily unreliable in very, very many situations. But this is worth keeping in the back of the mind. I would be far more inclined to trust the Smash World Tour statement since they'd been in direct contact with Nintendo for so long. And this is a Kotaku source, nameless spokesperson. I guess in like the most generous of interpretations of this information, what could be happening is Nintendo backpedaling and like, no, we didn't want them to cancel it. They can still do it for sure, please. That's possible, I guess, but I even find that much to be unlikely. What's going to happen to the players sponsored by VG Bootcamp like AMSA? VG Bootcamp's not going away. They've lost the Smash World Tour, and also Glitch Double Down are also canceled, but it's not like that whole company is folding or anything. Like, they're not dead. I guess he thought people would think his claims have authority and never question it. I guess. I have no idea. Things a bit cranky. Do I think there'll be an apology video? No. I don't know Alan super well. My guess, though, based on this behavior, he's going to come out with something like the truth, or it's time you know what really happened, and use all kinds of deflectionary techniques to placate all of this. That's my guess. I don't think he's going to own up to it or take any responsibility or shed any real light on the situation. 2 minutes ago. A short follow-up regarding Nintendo's response. Okay, so this is fucking fresh. Here. It is about the Kotaku thing we just pulled up. Didn't expect to address this, but Nintendo's response via Kotaku has been brought to our attention, and that's what I already showed. We're unsure why they're taking this angle, especially in light of the greater statement and all that it contains. And then here's the original statement. We received this statement in writing from Nintendo shortly after our call. It is Nintendo's expectation that an approved license be secured in order to operate any commercial activity featuring Nintendo IP. It is also expected to secure such a license well in advance of any public announcement. After further review, we found that Smash World Tour has not met these expectations around health and safety guidelines and has not adhered to our internal partner guidelines. Nintendo will not be able to grant a license for Smash World Tour 2022 or any Smash World Tour activity in 2023. To be clear, we did not even submit an application for 2023. The application was for 2022. Nintendo including all 2023 activity was an addition we were not even expecting. In our call that accompanied this statement, we asked multiple times if we'd be able to continue to operate without a license as we had in years past with the same unofficial understanding with Nintendo. We were told point blank that those times are over. They followed up the call with their statement in writing, again confirming the 2022 championship and 2023 activity were in the exact same boat. I trust that far more than the Kotaku source. If they want to take this stance, though, then how about Nintendo tomorrow come out and say, actually, there was a misunderstanding. Smash World Tour Championships should continue as planned. And then they just reschedule the date. I'm sure players, while they will have lost a lot of money, will appreciate the chance to continue to compete at that level in that tournament. If this really is how they feel. But this, I think, is absolute nonsense, considering this is what Nintendo's actual stance was during their conversation. Do you think it's them backtracking after the pushback? No, I think this is just blatantly lying. Like, I think whoever they talk to here has no fucking clue what they're talking about. I don't know who Kotaku got in contact with, but I don't trust the source at all. Imagine this kind of drama happened in a League or Counter-Strike tournament. Oh my god, the community would lose their shit. If it happened in Counter-Strike in particular, Counter-Strike has like a tournament every hour. If all of a sudden Valve's like, actually, we're going to step in, but we're only doing one major a year. So all the other ones, get that shit out of here. We're going to do the one Valve major a year, and all of the other ones, illegal. That'd be the end. That'd just be the end.